furrows his brow and I look over in the mother's direction, still back towards us. I relish in the moment and the look on this child's confused and naive face. The initial blast was mighty and boisterous. I swear I saw his hair blowing in the wind. If I wasn't wearing jeans, I think it could have probably blown over an empty soda can. However, what immediately followed that out of the chamber was truly horrifying. The fart's implication changed without notice and swiftly. It went from a joyous, dry air horn squeal to a nefarious, hissing squeal. I think the little moppet noticed the hateful metamorphosis before even I did because he wrenched his neck violently trying to get away from the personified evil being fumigated into his soul. Because of his positioning, it was all in vain as the only way out was forward, and forward would mean certain death. I had positioned myself well on the higher ground, free to escape or relent at any time. He was poor and immobilized, biding his time until the cruel attack was over. Obviously, this child needed to reread Sun Tzu. In total, it lasted about 4 seconds, but for that kid, it must have seemed like time was frozen. The long-term severe brain damage which he no doubt suffered, only added to that effect. When I finished with my business, there was a silent, pregnant pause. The kid was clearly shocked and stunned. No one had ever stood up to this dwarf sociopath in his whole life. I had taken the words out of his mouth and filled it with fart. I make my move first, picking up the toy I was reaching for off the low shelf, take a few steps forward, and stare at it for a few seconds. The only thing the kid could manage to do was burst into tears. My friend senses danger and his head darts for cover. The mom turns around to see her kid with an open toy, crying on the floor and me minding my own business. She walks up to him and asks what's wrong, but the kid can't speak. All he gets out is a pathetic scratch. It took every fiber in my body not to laugh. I put the toy back on a middle shelf, turn around, give a final nonchalant look, and then begin to take my exit. Sensing that his assailant was getting away scot-free, he somehow managed to compose himself for a moment. He shouts, "He farted on me." I could feel him pointing at me, but I continued to act like I was just browsing. I was almost around the corner when the mom goes, "Excuse me, sir." I turn around nonplussed. Who? Me? While pointing to myself. Yes. Did you just fart on my son? Weighing my options, I played dumb. What? I mean, I did fart. On my son? Well, technically speaking, what is on? Why did you fart on my son? At this point, the little kid has a look on his face, happy to see me in trouble. I turn my attention to the little kid and stare at him, because the whole store could hear him being a little, rotten brat to his mother, so I thought I'd come over here and treat him like one. The mom looks at me, her son, and the scattered G.I. Joe wrappers and box on the floor. The mom is puzzled as to what to do and says, just go. I turn around and walk away with a little extra step. I look up to see the black orb of security cameras and all the stories on Reddit about unjustly having to register as an offender flash before my eyes. As soon as I turn the corner, I book it outside as fast as I can while dialing my friend. Like a true friend, he is right out front with the engine running and Risk in the trunk. We laugh on the car ride back about the whole scene. With a slight hint of seriousness in his tone, my friend asks me, "Do you do that a lot?" Not that much. Like once every 6 months or so. We both knew I was lying. We got to our other friend's house, played Risk until 4 in the morning while drinking scotch. Overall, I would say it was a pretty good day.